Hey you guys, Danielle Egnew here at the Valley of the Shields in Montana. We have found some of the coolest ancient pictographs of all kinds of fascinating stuff in here. I'm going to go ahead and try to tag some of those photos on to show you what we found, and this is not exactly an easy place to get to. I mean, you really have to come back here and be dedicated to trying to crawl in and find things that you normally wouldn't. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I can turn the view around. Oh, I can't. Look at this. I mean, that is just incredible stuff all the way around and all the way over. So I'll have to show you what we found. You're gonna love it. It's fascinating. And again, there's been thousands upon thousands of years of chiefs buried in this area from all kinds of plains tribes, not to mention their shamans and people who were of great spiritual value. So this place is pretty sacred. It's pretty awesome. It's one of the reasons I love living in Montana. I just had to share it with you. Some of the biggest lore about the Pryor Mountains in Montana surround the Little People. Now, for those of you that don't know what the Little People are, the Little People are actually elementals. Lewis and Clark wrote about the Little People when they were coming up the Yellowstone River. This entire area is full of these little elementals, and it's not simply an Indian or Native American lore experience. There's a lot of trappers, there's a lot of local hunters, local ranchers in Montana and Wyoming that have reported sightings of these little bitty beings with pointy sharp teeth. So you have enough people sighting something, and pretty soon it's not simply lore, it's just what lives here. I gotta show you guys something. This area of the country is really wild. And when I say it's really wild, I mean it's really wild. We're just walking around. And my dog, who's out here with us, is trying not to crawl around and get in all of the fire ant nest that we've got going on here. Because it's just not a party unless you have tons of fire ants. So between the fire ants and the cactus, which I've now pulled out of the dog's foot several times, it's just not a hike in Montana, just saying. Okay, I climbed back into one of the areas where a lot of the pictographs are actually embedded. And as you can see here, this is a headpiece of something that was actually painted on this wall. Now, if you look here, you can see that there was a body and a tail that came up and some kind of a flag or marker here. I'm breathing pretty heavy because if you saw from where I just came from, it was a heck of a walk. But come check this out. Look at this. This is this valley back here that you really have to be careful to get into. There are no big fancy trails. You just got to go right over the top of nature. Now, as if that wasn't cool enough, check this out. Okay guys, one more thing I want to show you here. I had to hike in to this little weird crevice, and this was kind of a hard place to find. But look behind me right here. Do you see this string of dots on this pictograph? You know what's fascinating about this? I'll tell you. We are in Crow country down here. That's the Crow Indian Nation. And right back here on the wall is what is called counting coup. That's when a young warrior was attempting to become some sort of fabulous chief. And in order to do that, they had things they had to do. They had to touch an enemy but not kill them. They had to steal a horse. And every single time they did that, they would add a dot. Now here's where this gets interesting. You see these dots over here that just break off into sections of 2? We've got 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. Now that's a little unusual if you're counting coup. I studied that for a long time, thinking to myself, where have I seen that before? Now, here's a missing piece of the puzzle you may not know. We are in the Pryor Mountains of Montana. The Pryor Mountains are renowned for UFO sightings all over the place. This grouping of 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 is a classic and traditional lighting lineup. If you want to call it lights, they're actually temporal sensors, but they look like lights that are grouped in sets of 2 all the way around the exterior of these craft from the Sirius AB star system. So I think it's interesting that at the same time you've got all this coup somebody is counting, you also have these sets of 2 over here. And if you really want to see something cool, check out right underneath here this grouping. So you've got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then you've got this little guy here and you've got a straight beam down. So in essence, you could literally have the edge of a starcraft right here and putting its struts down. Now, you may think I'm reaching, except if you know the history of this amazing area and all of the UFO sightings they've had and all of the incredible, interesting pictographs that depict all sorts of UFO activity, that makes a little more sense. I got to catch up to my group gang, but before I leave, I want you to see how remote this place is. Check this out. There is nobody around for miles and miles and miles. All right, one more thing. Talking about off-worlders and all these different UFOs that have been renowned to come to the Pryor Mountains, check out this. Check out this old carving we've got here, way into the rocks. And then as you look up here, I'll show this to you a little closer, you've got a being with great big eyes and little flippy hair. And this is looking a whole lot like that being that was painted against the wall in black. So yeah, this is a very heavy off-worlder area. So cool down here. I wish I could bring all of you here in person, but considering most of you probably would not dig the hike, it's easier just to take you down here. And you gotta love all of the crazy sinkholes in this area. Lots and lots. That's based on the fact that the Pryor Mountains are actually sitting on top of a lot of limestone caves. And when you have a lot of limestone caves, you have a lot of cave-ins. Now, let's not even hesitate to mention the fact that not only do we have limestone caves and cave-ins, what we have in the Pryors are a lot of ley lines that cross over the top of each other. What's cool about that as those ley lines expand and as our magnetosphere is pulling on our ionosphere and is pulling on the ley lines of the Earth, all of this topography here is affected. In fact, there is this area in the Bighorn Mountains, which is attached to the Pryors, that has completely pulled one end of the mountain off. It's pretty amazing. You gotta love this place.